Hello, this is Jan from JC WebTech. I create tutorials with tips and tricks for Elementor and web design in general. And today I have something special for you. I will walk you through the way how to turn WordPress website into a static website, which is, in my opinion, very powerful and useful tool. And I see it mostly mentioned in relation with archiving website that you no longer want to touch. But I see it as also as a great tool that you can use with this kind of projects that you need to create website that doesn't have a blog, that doesn't have e-commerce, that just needs to be there representing the business. And since they are not really changing anything and it's not really going to touch the website, it's really hard to, for example, sell them some maintenance plan. But if you don't sell them maintenance plan and nobody's maintaining the website, it will either be running on auto updates and potentially can break with some mistake introduced by auto updates, or it will become vulnerable over time and it can be hacked, and obviously they don't want the website to be hacked, and also you don't want to be signed under a website that is hacked or semi-broken. So I think for this kind of project this is a great tool, great way how to use the tool that you are used to for building WordPress websites, while you don't need to then keep maintaining WordPress. And I will just walk you through the way how to set this up and how to use it for this case. So if you are ready, just follow with me. So there are a few plugins that can do this, or services, but the one that I am using is simply static. We need to update PHP, but it's not a problem, because to showcase this I am using local, which is the way how to run WordPress website on your own computer. It is very straightforward, so if you haven't heard about it, just install it. It will navigate you automatically. So let's switch to 741. That should be fine. We will probably need to restart. Okay, and now if I refresh this, it should be fine. Yes, so now we can reinstall it. And I really want to walk you through all the process of the installation and setting up, because it's very straightforward, but there are a few things to know and to understand. So I will activate it. And meanwhile, let's have a look at the website. So obviously, if you are turning WordPress website into a static website, we need to keep in mind that there are certain things that are server or database related that will not work anymore. But I would be actually surprised, or maybe things that you would think would be an issue will actually work. So what will work is all these, like everything you see will be exported. Even JavaScript interactions like this, like we created in the last video, it will be all exported. Every website, every sub page that is somewhere linked to will be exported, because what the plugin does is that it crawls the overall website, and everywhere there is a link on some page, it starts on the home page and it's crawling to all the links and the links that are on the sub pages. Yeah, this is not working because I don't have the plugin installed here, just a testing website. So it will export everything on the front end, but there will be no database. So for example, things like search may not work, or adding comments will obviously not work because there won't be no database to store these comments in. But this is not the kind of things that you use on those pages or those websites that I was talking about, like these company simple presentations. What else? And contact forms will not work, which is actually something that you might want to have on this kind of websites, but we will get to it in the second part of the video, how to actually make it work. And it's very simple, very straightforward. So so now let's go back to the plugin. So I have this now I have this simply static and the options here. And first I need to, well, first I would check the diagnostics, because it will tell me if everything is fine. It is showing me 2 errors here. Everything is fine except that it cannot read from the subdirectory static files. So I need to first go to C. So I will go to apps, public, plugins, simply static files. It cannot read the folder static files because it's not here. So we'll just create it. It was static files. Was it like this? Let's check again. Okay, here we go. Now it is there for some reason. I think it happened also already to me that this folder was simply not created by the plugin. But it's very easy to do that. So now we are all set here, and we can go to settings, and the most important part will be to set the URL that it will be exported to. So it will be where we are going to deploy it. So I'm going to deploy it on this URL. So you can also use relative one, and then you can open it, for example, in your computer. But we want to deploy it on a server. There is SSL certificate installed. So I choose the HTTPS, and the domain, and I want the zip archive. I will save changes, and you have more options here that we will probably get to. For example, you have authentication, so you can input your login password and username if your website is behind login, which can be useful because you can also have this kind of staging website that you are exporting. You can have it on separate server behind a login, so Google cannot crawl it. But for example, your customers can go there and do their own changes. Even you can even use it in a scenario where you really want to have super secure website, and you can, so it will be a little bit of extra hassle because you will need to always deploy it if there is some change. But it is also a way how to have like this bulletproof secure WordPress website. Like your customer can be, for example, posting blog posts, and can just notify you. You will export it from here, just we are going to do now, and you will copy paste it on the server. And like that, you can even have some kind of maintenance plan for it. That will be, and this will be the selling point for you, because you will have the most secure WordPress website in the world, because it's actually not running WordPress on the live server. So let me go. So but we don't need this at this local scenario. And here it will, as I said, it will crawl everything that it finds, but there are certain things that it won't find. For example, if something is fetched with JavaScript, like lazy loaded or something, sometimes it doesn't appear on the website. So I need to go back and tell it that, look, like there is something here that I need to include that is not linked, or you may have a URL on the website that is not linked from anywhere, just like specific, for example, landing page that is not linked from the home page. So you will need to link it here. But anyway, let's just go ahead and export it. We already have the domain specified here, and so I can go to generate. Will generate file. It will take a moment, so I will fast forward here. Okay, in the meanwhile, we can go see where we are going to put the outputted files. So I'm using Hostinger for this. I wouldn't really use, for example, use Hostinger for WordPress client website because it will be slow. But another advantage of this static website is that it doesn't require server resources, it's just a static file that is there and the server doesn't need to process anything. So actually you will get away with much cheaper hosting than you would need for a WordPress website. So for this, for example, Hostinger is fine. I will need to go to the file manager. Not sure which one I should use. Let's try the beta one. I think it's been in beta there since like 2 years. So let's see, and we will probably have very similar file browser on your hosting if you are using some other shared hosting. So I will always want to search for a public HTML related with your domain, and I have already WordPress site here running, so I will just select everything and I will archive it because I would like to restore it after we shoot this video. So backup zip. Is there any backup zip? 63 mega. That could be it. So I can delete everything but this backup. If I lose this website, it will also not be a tragedy and I have it backed up somewhere else. So I will delete the rest. So this is exported, so we can download our file here, download it immediately, go back to our file browser of our server in the public _HTML folder, and we will upload again. It will be probably very simple in another hosting provider. So I will upload file that we downloaded, open it, and now you will probably have somewhere in the tools you will have a tool to extract it, or probably with the right click. So an archive should do. Choose folder. I don't want to choose folder. I just want, yes, I want to, in the current one, an archive. I want it, or an archive. I don't want to extract it right here, so I guess I will need to copy it in the okay, let's just move it. Maybe use the other one, not the beta browser, will be fine. So, and we want to copy or move to public HTML, move. Okay, now we have it in public HTML. You can see we have the index HTML, which is the HTML from our homepage that we exported. You can even open it, and sometimes when you need to change something very little, like some typo, you can just Control F, probably to search here. So if I search for convert, you can actually edit it, like some minor things you can edit even in the code. Forms, I'll put exclamation mark and save it. And now let's navigate to the URL. This is the previous website that was there, but now when I update it, you can see we have our exported website which we already edited through the editor. And we obviously don't need to do that. I just wanted to show that you can do these things. Okay, and there seem to be some minor issues. that is actually great because I can show you how to fix things. So first thing is like you would try if all the pages are linked. This all looks good. It seems not to be working the number counter. Contact looks fine. So let's fix the homepage. Maybe I will not fix everything in this video to make it short and allow my camera not to run out of battery, but I will show you the principles. So we will go to the console and we have bunch of errors here, and it is actually a very welcome thing because I can show you how to fix it. So, and it will be fixed, like you don't need to fix it every time then you export, just need to set up the export and it will work. So let's go maybe to the network, reload, search it by the status. So it failed to export emojis, which we may not need to care about, but it also failed to export this JavaScript. So I will copy it and I will go to generate static settings, include, and so we need to paste this URL here, but we will need to substitute the domain for this one, for the one that we are exporting it from, obviously, because we need to allow it to find this file on the page that it's exporting from. So we will substitute this URL for this one that it's sitting on. I will do the same for the other URLs that it failed to load. You don't want to copy the version, just with the .js. Don't copy anything that is beyond the question mark. And now we can export it again. Save changes, generate static files. We will repeat the whole process again. So I will delete the old files from the server. Simply it's the new one. Upload it to our server. And let's see the result. Okay, here we are. So now the slider is working as intended. This is working. This I think it was working before. And yeah, so, and here we have one more problem, which is that I did it on purpose here, that on the test side I created this where is it here, slider in the background, and it's something I know that it doesn't export, because maybe it will export one image, the first one, but it will not export the other images in the slideshow. So if that happens, you need to go locate these pictures that are in this slideshow. Most straightforward way is to go to Elementor, see what images we have there, and here you can copy the URL. So this one actually was there, but we can copy this one and this one, and now it's copied from the original site, so we won't need to be changing anything, but we will need to go to settings, exclude include, and add it to the list. So it was 1, 2, 3 images, and when we are in it, let's make sure also, let's fix also the number. Don't tell me that I missed something. So let's go to about page. Counter, yes, and see, kind one is easy to identify. So we need to copy the address, go to simply static, and also edit here. And here we can need to change the domain so that it finds it on the original server. Save changes, and let me export it and import it again. So I went through the same process once more, and you can see when the numbers are working, and these images should all appear in this slideshow. So fixed everything. You need to pay attention, you need to check, for example, if you have some pop-ups. And the last thing is the form, which is something, as I said, you might want to make working, but it will obviously not work without the Elementor backend. And well, since this video is already starting to be a little longer, but I really wanted to walk you through all the difficulties and show you how to fix everything that can emerge. So I will show you a way how to make the form work in the follow-up video. So make sure you subscribe, and so that you don't miss it. And I hope this video brought value to you, because I think it is a very powerful way how to deal with certain projects, being it some client that is extremely sensitive to security, or if they are sensitive to money, that they don't want to pay for maintenance. Perhaps they are kind of right about it, because they are maybe not enjoying and not using all this potential of WordPress. So you can use this static website, you can sleep well, you don't need to have nightmares that your WordPress website broke, and your client is going to call you, because this website will stay the way that you export it. It will stay forever, it will not move. And yes, you need to go through some setting up and through maybe some troubleshooting when deploying it, but it's definitely worth the hassle to avoid those nightmares when a client is calling you that everything is out of place. And also you will save money on, for example, server, because you will get away with quite cheaper hosting. Because you can see, if I go to the website, it's quite snappy. Yeah, it's much faster. Like, you will not get much better score on Google, but it is noticeably snappier, because you don't have this time of the server generating everything. It's already there, so it's as fast as it would be if everything would be cached. So even on Hostinger, like the website, if I hard reload it, it's fast. So I hope you like this video. Hit the subscribe button for the follow-up video about how to make the WordPress, or for example, the Elementor forms work and being delivered to you. And well, I see you in the next one.